What's up, everyone? Today we're going to be going over how to do a high skin fade. We're just leaving the top, so let's get started here. I'm going to comb down the front hairline, and I'm going to start by just putting a straight edge across the front of the hairline. Brushing off any of the hair on the client's forehead. People definitely don't like when you just leave the hair there, so make sure you guys are always brushing off your clients as you go. But I'm just lightly tapping on the hairline. I don't want to press too hard and leave any red marks, and I definitely don't want to drag that clipper across the forehead at all. I want to just do light taps and create a clean and crisp line. Make sure I get my corners well. So that's what I'm doing right here. Now we're going to start to fade it out. So I'm going to bring the trimmer line up and create my initial guideline. We're just getting rid of the C cup altogether for this haircut, so just going to clear out any of the hair below that initial guideline. You'll see I'm drawing in the guideline now with my trimmers just like it's a pencil and cleaning out anything underneath. Want to make sure that it's even on both sides, so after I go and create the guideline, I'll look at the other side. I'll check my mirror and make sure that both sides are even. The mirror is a great tool to utilize to check if things are even and looking right. Sometimes you can see things in the mirror that you can't see with just your eye looking at the haircut, so I use my mirror a lot. Alright, so I'm going to grab my shaver. We're going to bald out any of the stubble that's underneath that initial guideline. I'm not bringing the shaver all the way to the line, but I'm flicking out as I come up, and I'm getting closer to it so that it blends right in. I don't want to go into the guideline because then I have to redo it. So you'll see I pull the skin tight there with my thumb, and I'll make sure that I'm balding it out and blending it in before I get to the guideline. And what we do to one side, we got to do the other. So I'm going to go to the other side of the head and do the same thing. Alright, so we got our one guard open, and I'm just going up and starting to debulk some of that hair right around the parietal ridge, crown area. I don't want to go too high, but I'm just getting that ready so that I can fade into the hair. I'm going to do it on the other side as well. You'll see I use my brush, and I'll brush the hair down and make sure it's all going in the same direction, and I'm cutting against the grain and making sure that all that hair is knocked down evenly, and that's where we're going to do all of our fade work. So now I got lever closed, no guard, and I'm just bumping up that initial guideline from the trimmers about 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to try to keep it a little bit tight here because I'm working with not as much space as I normally would with like a mid fade. So just bumping up small strokes with the clipper, just starting to knock out that initial guideline. So you can see that there's a pretty good line there. I think the line was just really because I left such a defined line with my trimmers in the step before. So right now you'll see I'm just going back through and flicking out with my trimmers to get rid of that line between the trimmer line and the zero line. I do this sometimes. This is just a quick way to get rid of that line if it's still there after you go over it with the zero. So now I'm going to take my clippers and I'm going to open the lever and I'm just going to bump it up about a ½ inch, quarter of an inch, just starting to blend it. And you can see it's the blend is starting to kind of come alive here. You can see I'm using the corner, and now I put my lever at a half, and I'm just going to go in there and detail where I see any dark spots or spots that I feel like I need to lighten up. You can see again right there, using the corner. But the blend's really starting to come together here, so. Going back through with lever on half and just touching up any spots that I'm seeing. So now I'm doing lever open on this side, lever on half, and just detailing it out. Again, using the corner of the blade, flicking motion, trying to work within closer quarters than usual, so being mindful of that as well. So now I have my half guard on my clipper and my levers open, and I'm just going in and lightening up any areas that I see really that I haven't touched yet in the bulk of the hair. So I'm just trying to lighten up any dark sections. Sometimes I'll just use the corner of the blade and literally, use the corner and put it right through any really dark spots or hair that's, bunched up together. You see I'm combing the hair down and going against the grain with it as well right here. Trying to create that smooth transition. Again, guys, whenever you're doing a fade and you're working within close quarters, the corner of the blade is always a great tool to utilize, technique to utilize, I should say. And then here I'm just going and doing kind of the same thing where I was putting the clipper corner through bunched up hair. I'm doing that with the scissors here just to lighten it up. Really doing some detailing here. So now that the fade's done, we're going to go ahead and prep the client. So I got the lather on, and we're going to shave him. Make sure the edges are nice and crisp where there are edges. Just cleaning up any spots that I see that I might have left with the shaver right there on the back of the head. And then just edging here as well. Alright, so I grab my magic clips and go back into detail. I think I saw a little bit of a line in different parts of the haircut, so I'm just going and adjusting the lever as I need. I started with it open and I start to close it as needed. So if you're trying to get a spot out in your haircut and you're not really sure what the length you have to use is, start with your lever open, and if it's not taking it out, close it a little bit, close it a little bit more as needed until you get that line out. And that's what I'm doing back here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and enhance the front line up. He has a pretty good hairline to begin with, but we're just doing this just to clean it up a little bit more, make it a little bit more defined. Alright guys, here's the before. And check out the after. This haircut came out really fresh. I was super happy with it. He was super happy with it. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you got any value from it, drop a comment. Let me know what you liked. Give me some feedback. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm making videos like this every week for you guys. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.